Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the English Learning Podcast, the place where you can boost your English skills through real conversations and practical tips. I'm your host, Sarah, and today we're diving into a topic that's super important for English learners everywhere.
Hey everyone, I'm Bill, your co-host, and today's episode is going to be a game changer. We're talking about how to train your brain to think in English. Sounds exciting, right?
Absolutely! Thinking in English is one of the biggest steps toward fluency, but it's also something many learners struggle with. They know vocabulary, they understand grammar, but their mind still works in their native language.
Exactly. If you've ever found yourself translating every sentence before you speak, or if you freeze because you're trying to switch languages in your head, this episode is for you.
Today, we're going to guide you step by step on how to stop translating and start thinking directly in English. We'll talk about mindset, daily habits, practical exercises, and how to make English a natural part of your thoughts.
And don't worry, it's easier than you think. By the end of this episode, you'll have a clear plan to train your brain, just like native speakers do.
So grab your notebook, get comfortable, and let's jump into it. So before we dive into how to train your brain, let's talk about why it's so important to think in English in the first place.
Yeah, a lot of learners ask, why can't I just keep translating in my head? And the answer is, because it slows you down. It's like trying to run a race while carrying a heavy backpack.
Exactly. When you translate, you're doing double the work. First, you think in your native language. Then you try to find the English version. By the time you're ready to speak, the moment is gone.
And that's frustrating, right? You know what you want to say, but it doesn't come out fast enough. That delay can hurt your confidence and it can make conversations feel stressful.
Now think about native speakers. They don't translate. They just speak directly from thought to words. That's what we want you to do. And the good news is you can train your brain to do the same thing.
When you start thinking in English, everything becomes faster. You understand people better, you speak more naturally, and your fluency really starts to grow.
It's also a big confidence booster. Once your brain is used to English, it doesn't feel like a foreign language anymore. It just becomes part of how you think, like second nature.
Right. And one more thing it helps with listening too. If your brain is already set to English, you won't need to stop and mentally translate everything you hear. You just understand.
So the bottom line is this. Thinking in English helps you speak faster, understand more, and feel more confident. It's the foundation of real fluency.
Well said. And now that we know why it's important, let's talk about how to actually make it happen.
All right, so now that we understand why thinking in English is so important, let's go a little deeper. Let's talk about the mindset shift.
Yeah, this is something that a lot of learners overlook. They focus on learning more words or grammar rules, but they forget that fluency starts in the mind, in how you think about English.
Exactly. You know, it's not just about knowing the language. It's about accepting English as part of your everyday mental world. That means changing the way you use English, not just how you study it.
Right. Think about how a child learns a language. They don't sit down with a grammar book. They just absorb it by being surrounded by it. Their brain adapts to the language because it's everywhere on TV, in conversations, at school.
And that's where the mindset shift comes in. You need to move from being a student of English to being a user of English. Stop thinking of English as a subject and start thinking of it as a tool, something you live with every day.
Yes. That mindset helps you stop worrying about mistakes and start using English more naturally. It's okay if it's not perfect. The goal is communication and fluency, not perfection.
I once worked with a student who was very shy. She always tried to translate every sentence in her head, afraid of making a mistake. But when she started thinking in English just simple thoughts, like, I'm hungry or it's sunny today, she felt less nervous. She started speaking more and actually enjoyed learning again.
That's a great example. When you make English a normal part of your thoughts, it doesn't feel scary anymore. It feels familiar, and the more familiar it becomes, the more fluent you become.
So to all our listeners, start telling yourself, English is not just something I study, it's something I live with. That's the mindset that leads to real progress.
Well said. And once you shift your mindset, you're ready to start practicing. So let's move into the practical part, how to actually train your brain to think in English every day.
All right, now it's time for the most important part of today's episode, the step-by-step strategy to train your brain to think in English.
Yep. If you're listening and thinking, okay, I get it, I need to think in English, but how do I start? This part is for you. Let's break it down into 5 simple, practical steps.
Step 1 is to start small. Begin thinking in English using simple phrases about your daily life. Don't worry about complex sentences.
Exactly. Start with thoughts like, I am brushing my teeth. It's a sunny day. I need to buy bread.
These short, basic thoughts are actually powerful. They help your brain get comfortable with thinking directly in English without translation.
And you don't even need to say them out loud. Just start forming simple English thoughts as you go about your day. It's like training a muscle. Consistency is key.
Step 2 is to start labeling the world around you in English. This helps build vocabulary and creates natural English thinking habits.
Yes, you can even use sticky notes. Write mirror, door, light switch, and put them around your home. Every time you see them, your brain connects the English word with the object.
Even without sticky notes, just mentally name things around you. When you're making coffee, think, this is a mug. I'm pouring water. The coffee smells great.
And this step is fun. You'll start realizing how much English you already know, and you'll be learning new words automatically just by observing.
Okay, step 3. Use English in your inner voice. This means talk to yourself in English inside your head.
We all have that little voice in our head, right? Instead of saying, "Where is my phone?" in your native language, say it in English.
Yes. Think things like, what time is it? Or, I should clean my room today. It doesn't have to be perfect English. Just get used to using it inside your mind.
The more you think in English, the easier it becomes to speak in English. Thought and speech are deeply connected.
Now step 4 is about immersion, surrounding yourself with English as much as possible.
That's right. Watch English movies, listen to English podcasts, read simple English books, even follow social media pages in English.
And don't just listen or watch. Pay attention. Try to think with the content. Repeat sentences in your head. Ask, what does this mean? Or, how would I say this?
Even background listening helps. Over time, your brain starts to expect English, and it becomes more natural to think in it.
And step 5, think out loud. This is where you speak your thoughts in English, even if no one is listening.
This is great for fluency. Try narrating your actions. I'm opening the window. I'm looking for my keys. Now I'm going to make lunch.
Yes, and it doesn't have to be non-stop. Just do it during daily routines like while cooking, getting ready, or walking outside.
This builds confidence and helps your brain connect thoughts to speech in real time. It's like shadowing, but with your own words.
So, to recap, start with simple thoughts. Label your surroundings. Use English in your head. Surround yourself with English. and speak your thoughts out loud.
These 5 steps, if practiced daily, will slowly rewire your brain to think in English naturally. No more translating, just thinking and speaking directly.
Coming up next, we're going to talk about something many learners struggle with: how to stop translating in your head. So don't go anywhere. All right, now let's talk about something that really slows down fluency: translating in your head. A lot of English learners fall into this trap.
Yeah, and we totally understand why. Translating feels safe, especially in the beginning. You know your native language well, so it feels easier to think in it first, then switch to English.
But the problem is translation takes time. It creates a delay between thought and speech, and in real conversations, there's no time for that.
Exactly. Imagine someone asks you, "What do you do for fun?" And your brain goes, "Okay." In my language, that's "then." Now, how do I say that in English? By the time you respond, it's already awkward.
Right. So how do we stop translating? First, accept that it's okay to not know the perfect word. You don't need to translate. You can describe what you mean using simple English.
Yes! If you don't know microwave, just say, "The machine that heats food fast." The key is to keep the conversation going in English without switching back to your native language.
Another tip when you learn a new word: don't connect it to your language. Connect it to a picture, a situation, or a feeling. That way, your brain links it directly to the meaning in English.
I love that. They don't translate. They connect words to real life. That's the mindset we want.
So remember, the more you force your brain to stay in English, even when it's uncomfortable, the faster translation will disappear. It takes practice, but it does get easier.
And it's a huge step toward real fluency. If you can think without translating, you're already thinking like a fluent speaker.
Well said. Coming up next, we're going to share some fun and simple daily activities that help you practice thinking in English every day. Stay with us. So far, we've talked about mindset, strategies, and avoiding translation. Now let's get into something super practical and your daily routine for training your brain to think in English.
Yes, because building a habit is all about consistency. If you include English thinking in small parts of your daily life, it starts to become automatic.
Exactly. So let's break it down. Here's a simple morning to evening routine anyone can follow, whether you're a student, a worker, or just learning from home.
First, when you wake up, start your day in English. The moment you open your eyes, think, "Good morning. What do I have to do today? I need to brush my teeth and eat breakfast."
You can even speak it out loud while getting ready. It doesn't have to be long. Just 1 to 2 minutes of simple English thinking gets your brain in the right mode. Then, during the day, use micro moments to think in English. For example, when you're waiting for a bus or standing in line, describe what's happening around you in English, like, "That man is wearing a blue jacket. A child is laughing. It's raining today."
That's a great one. It takes 0 extra time. You're just thinking differently. No extra tools needed, just your brain. Also, include at least 15 to 30 minutes of English input. Watch a short video, listen to a podcast, or read an article. Then think about it. What did I learn? What do I think about that topic?
And if you can, pause the video or podcast and repeat a sentence out loud. That helps reinforce thinking and speaking together. At the end of your day, take 2-3 minutes to review your day in English. You can think silently or write it in a journal. Say things like, "Today I went shopping. I worked on my project. I was tired, but I finished everything."
This is one of the most powerful habits. You're training your brain to summarize your life in English. just like a fluent speaker does.
So let's recap your simple daily routine. 1. Morning thoughts in English. 2. Midday micro practice. 3. Daily English input. 4. Evening reflection.
4 small things that together can create a big transformation. You don't need hours a day, just a few consistent minutes.
Coming up next, we're going to talk about common mistakes learners make while trying to think in English and how to avoid them. So, Bill, we've shared a lot of strategies so far, but let's be honest. Training your brain to think in English isn't always easy. Some days it feels exciting and other days, not so much.
True. That's why motivation is key. So let's give our listeners a few tips to stay motivated on the journey.
First, tip: track your progress. Write down 1 sentence a day in English. After a month, go back and read your first one. You'll see how far you've come.
Love that. It's proof that you're growing, even if it's slow. Second tip: celebrate small wins. Maybe you had a short conversation without translating, or you describe your day in English. That's a win.
Absolutely. And here's another: connect with others. Join an online community, chat with a language partner, or even leave a comment in English on a YouTube video. Using English in real life feels exciting.
And my favorite: remind yourself why you started. Maybe it's to travel, to get a better job, or to connect with people around the world. Keep that vision in your mind.
Yes. Motivation isn't about being perfect. It's about showing up every day with purpose.
You're doing better than you think. Keep going. One thought at a time.
Coming up, our final thoughts and encouragement to help you take action today. Don't miss it. All right, friends, before we wrap up, it's challenge time.
Yes. Here's your listener challenge. For the next 3 days, start your morning by thinking in English for just 2 minutes. Describe your plans, how you feel, or what you see around you, all in English.
No writing, no translating, just thinking. Keep it simple and consistent. And if you want a bonus challenge, try a short evening reflection too.
Then, tell us how it goes. Leave a comment, send us a message, or share it with a friend who's also learning English.
Remember, training your brain takes time, but every small step brings you closer to fluency.
Thanks for joining us on the English Learning Podcast. You've got this, and we're cheering for you every step of the way.
Until next time, keep thinking, keep speaking, and keep growing. Bye for now.
Bye, everyone.